Yeah, I started my stream.
You did?
Yeah, we got 30 seconds until qualifying. Hey.
What do you want to say about qualifying, not making it?
Well, we're just gonna. The qualifying is gonna be a real task for these guys since we messed up and made it. Hold on, let me turn down my media outlet. Qualifying is gonna be real difficult today because they only have 5 minutes to do these laps, and they gotta get out there quickly. So that's what we're gonna say here in a couple seconds.
So I just turned on my broadcast. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hello and welcome everybody to the Performance Motor Network / Global Racing Esports Network. We are taking a trip here to Texas, Circuit of the Americas, OMG Right turns. About 160 miles we'll be completing here tonight, and 48 laps, I do believe. But guys are in qualifying right now. Going to be quite the task for them. Saw a little bit of some technical difficulties with the qualifying here, so these guys are really going to have to race to try to get their qualifying laps in quickly, considering they only have 5 minutes, and definitely not a lot of time there for the qualifying, so definitely going to be very important. I am joined, of course, by Global Racing Esports broadcaster Michael Lester. How you doing, Mr. Lester?
Man, I'm doing just great. Real excited about watching this race tonight. This is our first road course of the year, and it's a track that I've never seen before. I've actually just bought the track moments before the airing, so that I could broadcast this race. And it's a very interesting little technical track. I was talking to Dale Brooks earlier in the during practice, and out of a 10, he'd give it an 8 as in difficulty level. So we're going to see a lot of good, exciting racing. Some of these guys are really good at road courses, such as Tristan Evil and Dale Brooks and William Brown. So look to them three to set the pace for the rest of these guys.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be the case for sure. We were watching practice for quite a while there and seeing what kind of lap times these guys were able to turn. I mean, Tristan Evil, I know, was fastest in practice, but him and Dale Brooks just kept switching back and forth on the fastest laps, and I think those are going to be the one to watch. A lot of other guys are pretty quick too, so I think the main battling is probably going to be up front and probably in that mid pack, because a lot of those guys had some similar lap times. So, and one thing about a race like this, as the race goes on, you're going to see a lot of guys getting better and better and better, learning what their car can't do, the limits. So it's almost like extended practice. But one thing about it, there will be no cautions on the night tonight. So if you maybe experiment too much, could find yourself spinning around and losing a tremendous amount of time that you're just not going to be able to get back. So you got to make sure. I think that the name of the game tonight, Lester, is going to be all about not making mistakes.
You're exactly right. Week in, week out, we talk about setups. And setups do play a big part when it comes to road coursing because you got to set that car up not only to do a left-hand turn, but also the right-hand turn. And that's really difficult for these cars. They're not really built to do that. But these guys work very hard all week long on their setups. But you're right. The key to success is keep that car on the track at all times. If you come off, because you get off on these rumble strips of grass, pretty much you're going to go turn around. You're going to lose about 20 seconds just trying to get back onto the track and get back going. You might lose a little bit more, but we're going to say about an average of 20 seconds if you do a simple spin out. So right there is what what you just said. The key to success is to have a good clean race.
100%, and that's not even the whole of it too. You got to think, these guys. I think from what I've heard, the estimated laps that you can get on a tank of fuel is about 40 laps, or not 40 laps, 20 laps. So if you go down for that green flag pit stop, and maybe you haven't included that in your regimen to learn this track, that's going to be like almost 50% of this. If you make a mistake on pit road and you get that 40-second holder, you missed your box. I mean, that could equal a long distance on this racetrack.
Well, most definitely. You hit it right there on the head. You can't make mistakes in a race like this. There's no yellow flags to save you if you do. If this is a 3.3 mile track and you got a lot of ground to cover, if you're a minute back, you're a half a lap, down from these guys. That's a lot to come back on your own. You're basically hoping that the leaders make a mistake so you can get back up there.
Yeah, it's pretty much what the only way you can even begin to recover if you see like the leader make a mistake, which could very well happen. I mean, it's so easy to make mistakes at a track like this, especially you don't really get a rhythm down. And one thing about this track, you could be good at one corner, but you have to be able to put together a whole lap. One corner when it comes to road course racing is not as important as the whole track itself. It's so hard to figure out the most efficient way to get around this track. And a lot of times, when you're, a lot of the drivers that are really quick, they don't really look like, they're showing real flashy laps. You're not going to see these guys kicking sideways and stuff like that. You're going to see them really, being patient, making sure they get everything done right. It looks like we do have some guys able to actually turn some laps in here. Wow. Surprised they were able to get them in. Tristan Evil looking like he's got a 2-minute 15.726. I mean, that is blazing fast there.
And they just got it in. And I do apologize for the technical difficulties we had on qualifying. But these guys who went out there and ran them, they had that pedal down. They had to hit it exactly right in order to get that one lap down. And great job by the guys who went out there and proved that they could get it down.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely shows how quick some of these guys are to be able to do that. I mean, usually it takes a lot of time to even get your outlap in to get that, those tires warmed up so I mean, surprised that they were able to get that done, but it looks like we do have the field set here, Mr. Lester. Tristan Evil going to take home the pole. Michael Thorpe, I was about to say your name. Michael Thorpe in second place.
That's going to cause a lot of friction right there.
Well, I mean, heck, you didn't want to be in second. The Dale Brooks going to be in third right now. Fourth place, Michael Hayes. Fifth place, Stephen Hayes. Sixth place, David Holsey. If you want to take the rest of it, Lester.
Yes, sir. Seventh place is going to be William Brown. Eighth place, Christopher Basinger. Ninth place is going to be Steve Gerber. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be Don Blazer. 12 is going to go to Joshua Slade. 13th, Chuck Cobb. And rounding out the field is going to be Brian Rickers. He qualified 14th place, but Ron Harrington, who is the race control for the night, will not be racing. And so he's going to be like 13th, Brian Rickers. We're going to have 13 cars on this track. It's not as many as we like, but these guys are going to put on a really good show for us tonight.
Yeah, I think that the participation here tonight, not a surprise. This is such an intimidating racetrack. I mean, this is, you think of road courses as being intimidating. This is probably one of the more intimidating ones when it even comes to road courses. This is not an easy track. You kind of said earlier about Dale Brooks saying that this was about an 8 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. I would even venture to say it's more 9 or 10. Because I mean, this is not easy at all. And there's I hate to say, but there's a lot of controversy when it comes to this racetrack too. With NASCAR, should they be on this racetrack? I mean, we have seen some great races throughout the week. Of course, Thursday night we had ISCA, and they put on a great show. And then we had the Juggernaut Truck Series also tackle this track. And, they definitely put on a great show and made it, made the case for this being a good racetrack for NASCAR. But we haven't seen the Xfinity car. That was the truck in the next gen. And, of course, the next gen, as everyone knows, is pretty much almost, perfect for road courses. So, curious to see how this next gen is going to look, and looking at lap times compared. I mean, I know most of the time in the next gen car, these guys would probably be hitting more, a lot faster. I'd say a couple seconds faster. So you can see, these Xfinity cars do not agree with a road course.
No, these cars don't agree with a lot of courses. Now you're asking these cars to turn right alone, and they just naturally don't want to turn right. So these guys are going to have their hands full with that wheel going this 3.3 mile track. It's going to be constant turning for them, and it's going to be constant just battling that steering wheel. Yeah,
and this is actually the longest race I think we've done on the week. I mean, 48 laps. I mean, that is quite a undertaking. Even after 34 laps on Thursday, a lot of guys are complaining how tired they were and how they were sore. I mean, this is using muscles that these guys don't use a lot. And for 48 laps, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised when we go to interview these guys at the end of this race if they're covered in sweat.
I was talking with Chuck Cobb earlier in the week, and he informed me that his arms will be pretty much dead at the end of this race. So much that he is not going to he will not be racing in the Myrtle Beach race tomorrow in the trucks. He's taking that week off and switching with Brian Rickers. But Brian Rickers is a lot of these guys in here will be right back in here on Sunday as we got green flag.
Green flag in the air, and this is going to be the most trickiest corner for a lot of these guys. You see William Brown already looking to try to take him 3 wide. Turn 1 is one of the hardest corners. Oh, and you're going to see a lot of guys starting. Oh, yep, Dale Brooks and William Brown getting into each other a little bit there. See a lot of stacking up going through that turn 1. A lot of this track, there are some very low-speed corners, so you're going to see a lot of guys stacking up. This is also a dangerous area right here, the S's. The S's. This looks like the most fun part of the racetrack right here, going through these S's.
And also the word around is these what they call turtles, the rumble strips on the side. Getting on these things are in some areas will get your car airborne. As you see, Mike Hayes having some trouble. But yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. That hitting them turtles will send you up into the air and probably do a lot of damage to your underside of your car. Could even knock out the toe or something like that. You see Mike Hayes diving under you. Stephen Hayes. Oh, the 11 locks up his brakes to keep from getting into him.
Well, looks like Chuck Cobb has went off. Michael Thorpe has went off track. Let's go back and I'm gonna go back here and look and watch Michael Thorpe. He's qualified on the outside pole. And
now being challenged by Dale Brooks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that's going to come off a lot. He went off the track and touched the green and had all 4 tires on the grass there.
Yeah, and that 1X, that 1X might not be the worst thing. You see William Brown really starting to put some pressure on Dale Brooks. So a lot of fighting going on right now in this top 5. Tristan Evil trying to separate from these guys. They are all essentially battling for second place. But Thorpe has gotten out. He's starting to leave those guys behind. This is quite a difficult racetrack. But like I said, that 1X might not be the worst thing. I mean, as long as you don't cut the course, that's what you don't want to do. Then you get that slowdown penalty, and you have to give that time back, which could put you under fire from the rest of your competitors.
Yeah, definitely. I think you hit it on the nail on the head there earlier. Don't make those mistakes. That's going to cost you time there.
Dale Brooks having a blinking issue.
Dale Brooks. I think I lost Dale Brooks because it's not showing him on track.
Yeah, I think he is blinked out. Oh, Tristan Evil going really wide there. And that completes our second lap on the night.
Well, that was only
still
2
a
laps?
lot more left.
Oh, my God. Right turns. I thought the race was over there for a second. It took for so long. Okay, back to the race, though.
A lot of racing still going on. You see Tristan Evil.
Michael Thorpe, our points
trying to hold off Michael Thorpe, yeah.
Yeah, he's right there. Our points leader coming into this race, trying to get a good finish so he can hold on to that points lead going into Richmond next week.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of these guys wish they were at Richmond right now, but wow, what a performance going on from Michael Thorpe. And I think what we're seeing here is we saw Tristan kind of mess up turn 1 and, went a little wide there. I think that's what we're seeing here. 1 lap could be, he could have the fastest lap all day, but if you're not able to put those, chain those good laps together, that's one of the things you're going to have to keep an eye on as Michael Thorpe's still putting some pressure. And unfortunately, Dale Brooks, he is going to definitely be laps down because of this. I think I don't know, has he gotten the throughput error? That's the kind of a thing I'm wondering here.
Yeah, I don't get that information, but the way it looks like he is not on the track. So with him not being on track, I think that lagging got too bad for iRacing, and they said, all right, go reset your stuff.
And that is so bad because, one thing about it, you can't get this time back. It would be one thing if a caution could come out to help him out, but that's not going to be the case. As we watched Don Blazer, he was trying to put a little pressure on the 11 of Christopher Bessinger, not able to do so.
We have a challenge for the lead. Michael Thorpe putting the pressure on 17 and making the pass on the 17 car of Tristan Evil. Michael Thorpe, now your leader. I don't know what turn he's coming into. Oh, but Tristan Evil right there. Oh, man, those cars look like they're about to tip over every time they go around a corner. Watching the back end of Michael Thorpe, I thought he was going to do a rollover right there.
It did seem that way, didn't it? I mean, He ought to put a sign right there. You might roll over.
Yeah. caution, car will roll over. As Tristan Evo fights back on that hairpin turn, well, Michael Thorpe still on the inside.
Oh,
They
contact!
touch!
Man, this is getting exciting up here for sure. Is Michael Thorpe trying his best here to try to challenge? This is not the place to try to pass here through these S's. It's so difficult to try to pass through here. As you see William Brown, he's loving every bit of this. William Brown watching these guys. He's wanting these guys to make some mistakes and let him get closer.
Yeah, I mean, like as in driving goes, I do not like road courses, but I love watching these road. I love watching these guys who know how to run this track. I love watching them perfect every turn. It's very exciting racing going on up here for the first, second, even third position, trying to hunt back in there.
Yeah, David Holsey also looking very quick right now. He's in 4th place, and looks like he feels pretty well at home here at this track.
Yeah, we're not going to give David Holsey any airtime since he wrecked me at Daytona.
Well, that's not right.
If David Holsey is watching the broadcast right now, he's laughing his butt off. So
I'll tell you what. The biggest mover here so far, we saw Brian Ricker start back in 13th. He is now up to 6th. He has definitely been one of the biggest movers here so far here tonight.
Yeah, I praise Brian Rickers like almost every week. Every week he's right up there doing what he needs to do to be part of the talk of the broadcast. Every week you see him up front. Sometimes he gets involved in somebody else's mess. Sometimes he gets involved in his own mess. But every week, and he just did it again. His car almost did that. Just looked like they were doing that rollover going into that turn right there. Oh, he goes way off the road there.
More fighting for the lead right now. That's what we have up on here to screen. Michael Thorpe now challenging Tristan Evil once again. And side by side, like I said, William Brown loving every bit of this as he's able to catch up to these guys because, you know, when it comes to any road, most race tracks, even if it's not a road course, when you're racing side by side, you're usually slowing each other down. And I think it's even higher, you know, exponentially more here at a road course. As look at that, Tristan Evil getting a good run up the inside.
You can see that Michael Thorpe in that 30 and that 70. Oh, they get up on top of each other coming in that turn.
This is
going
definitely
into the S turns, not like you said, not the place to be trying to do that. But wow, that was very interesting. William Brown right there.
Yeah, he's loving every bit of this. Now he's going to try to make something happen on Tristan Evil, and you even see David Holsey starting to come into play here. This is getting exciting. I'm sure it's probably maybe not feeling the same way for a lot of these guys, but you know what? I'm surprised. I mean, like I said, we've seen the trucks. I've seen the trucks race here. I've seen the Cup car race here. Haven't seen this Xfinity. It is quite crazy to see how much these cars kind of lift up when you're trying to do those turns. I mean, that is something I don't think we've seen in the other cars.
We got Dale Brooks back on the track, multiple laps down. Let me see, what lap is he on?
I believe he's 1 lap down right now. So that just shows you how big this track is, that he's only 1 lap down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's here you see him passing Chuck Cobb in that 81 with Joshua Slade right behind him. Joshua Slade not having a very good race. He's back here in 12th place. Looks like he's got a lot of damage on that back end.
And that probably came on the first lap, to be honest with you, just considering, you know, those guys getting stacked up like that.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'm not really knowledgeable on how road courses are and how that damage will affect your car, but I imagine it doesn't really need a lot of aerodynamic, but it definitely needs some toe and balance. So if that spoiler or that fender gets out of whack, I guarantee it changes the way that car now drives. Man, oh my God.
Oh my goodness, look at Thorpe. I mean, when he gets, he literally, it looks like he's about to tip over.
Every time I see him going around the corner, it looks like eventually we're going to see that car do that. Eventually tonight, that car is going to tip over.
Man, what an exciting. Look, you see William Brown in the background going a little bit too high. Now Tristan Evil trying to reel back in Michael Thorpe. This could be something we see all race long, seeing these two titans of global fighting with one another.
Well, I'm really hoping. Oh, see, Tristan Evil not getting a good line through that S's right there. Oh, he hits another. I guess it's a turtle up there, and it looks like 17 is struggling with that car right now. As you
Now,
see,
you mentioned it earlier about how hard it is to set up a car for a road course like that. So, I mean, it really is quite difficult. I mean, you think about all the different corners. It really is just so hard to set these cars up, and you see all the elevation changes and things like that. I mean, you know, that's stuff you have to keep in mind when you're setting up these cars.
Yeah, you're 100% right there. I'm
see Michael Hayes starting to catch up here to David Holsey. Might be having some battling here for the 4th position.
That 99 Lazy Lizard mobile right there. Great paint job by Monsters Wraps. All right.
Oh, I'm getting real close here. Michael Hayes diving under the inside, not able to get there. David Holsey just not giving him enough room.
And if I was,
it's hard to give enough room here. I mean,
yeah, I mean, if I was David Holsey, I wouldn't be giving anybody any room, because this is not, like we said before, this is not your oval track where if a caution comes out, you get to reset and do it all again. So giving up any real estate is not a good idea. You want every piece of real estate you can possibly get. Don Blazer back here in the back having some issues. My little ticker thing showed me that he had crashed, but it looks like he's got a little damage on that front end right there. So keep an eye on Don Blazer.
Yeah, he does.
See if he can make this race. And you see him. Oh, he's almost coming to a complete stop, trying to get around some of these.
You see Chuck Cobb right now trying to battle or try to hold off Joshua Slade here. Slade really starting to put some pressure on that 81.
Well, yeah, they.
And there's only a few zones on this racetrack where you can even try to pass. I mean, everywhere, most of the places on this track, if you try to pass, it's not going to work. You're going to end up having some problems. And, it's so hard to get the run off of the corner, especially when you're taking a more of a narrow arc.
Now, this battle between Chuck Cobb and Joshua Slade back here. Oh, why did that pop up? Okay. Back here for the 9th and 10th spot. Joshua Slade finally gets around Chuck Cobb.
Now going to try to catch up here to Steve Gerber. And that's one thing, too, we talked about, you might not necessarily be the fastest guy, but if you could just be clean, if you could just turn some clean laps, stay clean the whole race, and maybe not make as many mistakes, you don't have to have a fast lap time every time. You could find yourself working your way through the field just from seeing other guys maybe making mistakes and maybe even burning their tires up more, because that's one thing. These cars, I would assume, are burning these tires up quite a bit, just considering the amount of torque that these cars are putting down on that track.
Well, based off of what we've seen Michael Thorpe do coming around these turns where his car is basically going up to the side, he's got to be putting pressure on that right side and tearing that right side up. So he's definitely going to be using up more tire wear than the guys behind you. As you see, Tristan Evil now closing back in to the back of the 34.
And one thing we got to keep, you talked about the aerodynamics not being very important. I mean, it's not as important when it comes to, this kind of a track. Of course, it's important in the straightaways, and it is important in the corners. But, I mean, you see those small spoilers. So, I mean, that downforce really isn't that big of a value. But then again, when you're sitting behind someone, like you see Tristan Evil, the closer and closer he gets to Michael Thorpe, the less downforce he's going to have because of the air that he's cutting through. And that causes, maybe he's not handling as good through some of these corners. So, William Brown getting real loose coming off that last one.
William about almost 3 seconds behind Tristan Evil. Well, it keeps on jumping here. Road courses. Oh, he comes way high off of that turn. And I think he's starting to feel the effects of those wear.
Yeah, I definitely think these guys are already feeling that effect here. As we're only 7 laps in, soon to be 8 laps in, and like we said earlier,
just 7
fuel
laps?
run should be. Yeah, man, this is a big track. Road courses, it takes a long time, man. These are this is quite the challenge for these drivers. I mean, it is not going to be easy. And the thing is, like, you make one mistake, you start to dwell on that. Is Tristan Evil right up on Michael Thorpe now, challenge for the lead once again. And Tristan Evil takes it.
I'm
Can
not
he get a
sure how
good
much
run
of
here?
okay,
Oh,
he's still Michael Thorpe trying to fight on that inside or the left side. What are you gonna say the left side? Because I don't know what the inside and the outside are on this. So let's say I driver's side, okay? But you see Tristan Evil regaining that lead, and I think we're going to see that all through the race. Is Tristan Evil has a good car in the beginning, Michael Thorpe has that middle. Towards the end, it goes back to Tristan Evil, and these are going to be the two guys that's going to be racing all day long. And you know, Tristan Evil was worried that everything was going to get spaced out by lap 10, and that everybody's just going to be driving alone. But right now, he's definitely not driving alone. He can't take a breath right now because he's got that 34 still hounding him.
yeah, that's one thing, you want to do. If I was in Michael Thorpe's shoes, I would want to stay right in that rearview mirror. The more that Tristan has to look in that rearview mirror, the more likely it is that he's going to make a mistake.
Oh, yeah, most definitely 100% on that one. Tristan Evil, like we said, as we see Michael Thorpe trying to push his way in there, but wisely backs out just a little bit. And but I want to take this time to welcome everybody over there in YouTube world watching this race, as well as Twitch, man. Over there in YouTube, we monitor the chat. So if you guys got somebody you want to root for, think you know who's going to win this race, let us know, and we'll send you a shout out on the air.
100%. We definitely appreciate everybody out there watching and tuning in. Might be a little bit different from what you expect when you see Global Racing League, but this is definitely you're on the right channel. Michael Thorpe still hounding him. Man, this is getting insane up here. These guys are racing hard, and you got to love that. You see these guys racing so hard, you think that, you got to race the track when it comes to these road courses. But these guys have gotten probably such a mastery on this track that they are able to kind of race each other in some regards. Because, I mean, this is literally the quintessential racetrack to where you have to race the track. You can't race the guys around you.
Oh, yeah, 100%. These guys are just... They're putting on a clinic. I don't know what else to say. These two guys up here, Tristan Evil and Michael Thorpe, two really great road racers. William Brown right now is 7 seconds back from this battle, so this is really the only battle right now on the track. William Brown and everybody else has pretty much gotten spaced out, but Michael Thorpe and Tristan Evil just stuck to each other like Siamese twins.
You see, also looking back in the pack a little bit, we saw Joshua Slade had fought his way up to 10th. Now has gotten around Steve Gerber, trying to work his way up to Christopher Basinger. Oh, Gerber almost gets into the back of him. Oh, that 8 car looking like Dale Jr. out here right now.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Gerb, make it exciting for us. Give us something to talk about. What was that old Bonnie Raitt song?
But still, the fight for the lead still pretty hot. I mean, these guys are sitting right in the frying pan right now, just racing hard. And they are the class of the field. I mean, they really are. They are the class of the field right now. But what I'm a little upset about, we saw how I think Dale Brooks would have definitely been putting these guys to their paces too. I think that he would have been up here definitely. That's just so unfortunate that he had his issue.
Well, lap times, Dale Brooks last lap, he was faster, the fastest car on the track. So yeah, definitely breaking for Dale Brooks. He's been battling internet issues pretty much since the day that I met him and brought him into global racing. Sometimes he has really great races where he doesn't blink, and then there's this race where he wasn't blinking and they just knock him out. So
yeah, and a lot of times he has these he'll have blinking issues, and but he won't go like a lap down or anything, or won't get any throughput. He'll just kind of be blinking, and he'll come back and he'll blink and he'll come back, and heck, he's won races still blinking. But unfortunately, apparently something was going very much wrong in this case today, and unfortunate. I mean, to have such a great driver have to suffer from issues like that. I'm telling you, if I decide to move somewhere, that's the first question I'm gonna be asking. How is the internet service around here?
Yeah, well, luckily for me, I just kind of got lucky and got some good internet. But I live out in the country, like I think 10 miles from the city limit line. So I was very lucky to get some good internet providers out here where I could actually stream and race. I don't really have a lagging issue. But he lives in the city. I mean, I think he lives on base. Like he's in the Navy, so it's it's really weird for him not to have good internet.
Yeah, that is odd. You'd think they would have pretty good infrastructure, but I mean, from what I've heard, he usually is using his phone, so must not provide.
Yeah. He
the
actually has.
infrastructure for that.
He actually has better internet through his phone than he does from his internet provider. And it's like he said he pays top dollar, like the most expensive package they got, and he still lags. He cannot explain it. He's had him out there 100 times, and like I said, I just feel bad. But the guy is such a great racer, and for him, not only in the official races, but when he goes and races in the or not in the league races, but when he goes out there and races in the official races, he's got to deal with everybody yelling at him about he's blinking and stuff. I just feel bad for the guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. A little bit more action still going on here in the middle of the pack. We saw Joshua Slade has caught up to Christopher Basinger. So we're about to see maybe a change in the 8th position here if Joshua Slade can make the pass. Ooh, almost
we
some
lost up
contact
there.
there.
Oh, and everybody goes.
Yeah, that is not good for both of those guys.
Yeah, I think Christopher's just going to pull over and let the 7 maybe just get ahead, and seeing that the 7 was being very, got a little aggressive on that turn. I'm just going to say
you almost have to be though in this instance. I mean, you gotta. I mean, yeah, usually aggression. You're like, why are you being so aggressive? But when something like this, you can't get that time back. So every moment that you waste sitting behind someone is going to be, you're going to be letting that time go.
Yeah, we talked about that. Where there's no cautions. They have local cautions, but there is no full-fledged cautions. There's no full course caution. So if you mess up, that's time that you're gonna have to get back on the track or get back on in the pit road. So
yeah, you can't press the NOS button to try to get that time back on the straightaways either.
Sometimes I believe Tristan Evil and Michael Thorpe have that OS button, and because these guys are just running away from everybody.
Yeah, right now Michael Thorpe is, I do believe, almost 10 seconds in front of William Brown, who's in 3rd place. So these guys, and they're still right up on top of each other. I mean, Thorpe is staying right there on the back end of Tristan Evil. And you talked about, they were one's good maybe in the later run. We still haven't even really got to the later run yet, to be honest with you. Because, I mean, if the field runs 20 laps, we're on lap 10.
We're halfway. So, I mean, it's definitely going to see. It's definitely going to be interesting to see, and very exciting to see what these guys can do once these tires really start getting worn. It's going to be exciting to see if William Brown can close in on that as well.
What's really shocking, though, is that Michael Thorpe is still able to run, comparable times to Tristan Evil, even though you even mentioned it earlier. Seeing him, he's been like almost drifting some of these corners. You would expect that would really be tearing that equipment up. So I'm surprised. I really am surprised that apparently he has a car that, he's got those grip hacks or something.
Or what did Dale Brooks say? He must have that grip cheat.
Got to. He's got to have some type of third-party system, something. He's hacking. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean,
looking here, I mean, not a lot of battling going on throughout the field. We still see Steve Gerber, I think, trying to fight with Christopher Basinger, though.
Yeah, Steve, he's caught up to the back of Christopher Basinger, so Joshua Slade got around him. Chuck Cobb, he's racing pretty much by himself, just on a nice little stroll.
Oh, Gerber almost gets up into the back of Christopher Basinger there. Gerber showing some pretty good speed out here right now. Looking like he's definitely got himself a top 10 machine. He is in 10th right now.
I think this is what these guys are just looking for. You know, a lot of these guys are not road racers. They just want good finish and a good top 10 finish for Steve Gerber, help him out in the point standings as well as Chris Basinger, to get him back up there in the championship talk.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, because you know, this is such an intimidating racetrack, we saw a lot of guys, you know, elect to not race this here tonight. And you know, because they did that, that's going to be some good points for the guys that do. So even if you showed up, it might be a good point stay for you just because you know, you even made a start.
Mm.
I mean, this is such an intimidating track. I mean, I think this is probably the most intimidating track you guys have on the schedule. You know, this is not going to be easy. I mean, this is not, you know, you think road course, you think, okay, Watkins Glen. Most of these guys out here, even though they're not road racers, would have some sort of familiarity with Watkins Glen. Most of these guys don't hardly have any familiarity with this racetrack. Watkins Glen on the scale is probably at around a 6. Like Dale Brooks said, this is probably 8 or 9, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, like you say, Watkins Glen, it's a track that's kind of built for NASCAR. So getting those trucks out, it has a little bit more stability. This is totally different. I think this is the first time they've ran on this track. I might be.
Yeah, I think last season was,
okay.
but
They
you're
don't have a
right
lot of
though.
experience.
No, they definitely don't. I mean, I and the thing is about it, you mentioned it, you know, that Watkins Glen was almost purpose built for NASCAR. This racetrack was actually purpose built for F1.
Oh
You
my
know, this
Lord.
is an F1 track.
Yeah, sometimes NASCAR makes some really crazy decisions in their scheduling. But
I mean, could you imagine F1 cars going around this track? I think they have no issue, but you know, these cars definitely not having, you know, not probably having as much of a good time out here, but still, we're having a good time watching these guys try to tackle this challenge and use, you know, maybe not even, you know, maybe physical muscles too that you don't use, but also mental muscles I think you don't use. You know what I mean?
I guarantee you these guys are going to be 100% wore out once this race is over. They might go back to the guy who made it. Oh, Thorpe gets loose.
Oh no!
Oh,
And he is going to lose a tremendous amount of time from that.
He's definitely man. That's hard to see right there. Those guys were doing such good job racing each other and keeping this race very interesting. And then Thorpe, let me see if I can go back and.
Oh, Halsey's around. He's in the middle of the track, sideways.
Okay, go back. Let's see what happened to Dave. He was actually catching up to William Brown, and he just can't get down. And there he goes. He's sideways, and looks like let's see if he's able to get away without any further contact with any other drivers. So that's definitely good. So Dave Halsey and Michael Thorpe both having troubles on this lap. Wow.
I think it could be, you know, you mentioned it earlier, the tires. I think that's what's really starting to show, you know, their face. You know, the tire wear is really starting to affect these drivers.
Yeah, these guys are within 7 laps of coming into the pit road. But even though Michael Thorpe went sideways a little bit and lost a good amount of time to Tristan Evil, he's starting to reel him back in.
You see Gerber back here further in the pack. He has managed to make the pass on Chris Basinger. So that is going to put him in 9th place.
Definitely good showing for Steve Gerber. He's been pretty active as in the leagues go. Some of the leagues that I've been broadcasting for, he got himself a win at Atlanta with the doghouse racing last Sunday. So he's looking forward to getting into the win column again this week, and maybe tonight or try it again tomorrow.
I wouldn't be surprised, like you said Chuck Cobb going to be missing tomorrow. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see some other guys maybe missing tomorrow, just considering how tired they're going to be here. You see Dale Brooks, he's, of course, a lap down, still having a heavy blinking issue. Wow, he actually made it pie, David Halsey there. I'm shocked, considering just how much he was blinking. And that actually might be a good thing, considering he was blinking there. He could have maybe blinked right through Halsey and made the pass.
Yeah, that sometimes it probably benefits you blinking. Sometimes it hurts you, but right now, on my screen, he seems to be solid. So hopefully his troubles are or pass him, and he can get out of that 13th position maybe. But everybody's still, other than the Dale Brooks's boot problem there, everybody else is I'm still on the lead lap, I believe.
You would be correct. One person, or a couple people that will be in danger at some point during this race of going a lap down probably will be Don Blazier and Chuck Cobb, as they are the last two on the lead lap right now.
Well, the way these two guys up here front are running, I think everybody from fourth on, third on back are in jeopardy of going a lap down these guys because they are just moving. Right now, they have a 20-second lead over the third place of Wayne Brown. Even after that spin by Michael Thorpe, he still got 17 seconds on him.
Yeah, and then some laps he's starting to catch Tristan Evil, some laps he's not. But we also had to look back here. David Holsey, he, because of his issue when he spun out, that has put him under fire from Michael Hayes. We saw Hayes earlier in the race was putting some pressure on David Holsey. Unfortunately, I think he might have had an issue himself. And but now, because Holsey's issue, he has gotten back into contention to maybe get that fourth place away. And that's one thing we're going to see a lot of. I mean, guys are going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. It's just all about, can you recoup, recover, get back going again, and maybe not dwell on it so much. If you limit those mistakes, like I say, if Holsey makes another one, I mean, Hayes is going to be looking real good here. And we still could even see Tristan Evil make a mistake, or Michael Thorpe. You never know what could happen.
Anything could happen in a race until that checker flag flies and you drive under it. Your position is never secure.
And we definitely appreciate everybody out there tuning in to watch this race here at Circuit of the Americas. Should have called this one a Grand Prix.
yeah, the Oh My God Right Turns Grand Prix. There we go. We're gonna recoin it.
And because of Dale, one thing about it though with Dale Brooks, I mean, because of the amount of speed he has, if he's able to limit his mistakes, he still could find himself, maybe not on the lead lap, but he could find himself getting by a lot of these guys. I mean, he, with the speed he has and how long this race is, if he's able to do everything right, he could still even find himself up in the top 5 if he's just able to keep doing what he's doing.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was just looking at the point standings, and Dale Brooks right now is showing in the 9th place. So he needs to get around a couple of these guys to kind of catch up on him. Like he's got who's he got right there in front of him? Brian Ricker, who's sitting there in 8th place. So he's got some fighting to do. As you see, Michael Thorpe going really wide on that hairpin turn. Michael Thorpe, he's got a good 69 lead over our leader right now, Tristan Evil. So if it ends right now, nothing's going to be shaking up in the top 3, but the 5th, 6th, and 7th might get a little bit because they're really close.
Right now, taking a look through Tristan Evil's cockpit camera just to show you what these guys are actually dealing with out here. Kind of show what a lap around here looks like and just how much these guys are off the throttle and probably scared to be on the throttle. Oh, look at that. I mean, look at the wheel inputs you have to put in to keep this car on the racetrack.
You see him on that hairpin thing, and he's just fighting that wheel with everything he's got. And turns like that is what's going to make these guys sleep very well tonight.
Yeah, turns like that these guys are definitely gonna sleep well tonight. I mean, they're gonna be so wore out that there ain't gonna be, if you win this race, if Tristan Evil wins this race, or let's say Michael Thorpe wins this race, no matter who wins this race, they are going to be exhausted. There's not gonna be any celebrating. They're gonna be like, you say let's celebrate, pop the champagne. He's like, I'm going to bed.
Exactly. Their interviews are going to be like, thank you for the race. I want to give a shout out to my team. Good night.
We better not ask him too many questions tonight, especially when you're that, tired and your endurance levels just drained. But I don't know what we'd expect these guys to say, because I mean, when you're tired like that, your endurance, you're physically drained. wouldn't be surprised if these guys say something like, say something we don't know what they expect.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that, but you know as well as I do, there, Brian. All that tiredness goes out the window if you get that checkered flag. Checkered flag, you feel like you could go another 46 laps. You know you're tired, but that adrenaline is running right through the veins.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're definitely right. I mean, I definitely will give you some energy. It's like being at work all day long, and then once you finish work, you get home, you get that burst of energy. But I'm sure the guys that are further back are definitely going to be, second or third might not be too, talkative. That's for sure. But the winner definitely could very well be. And we see Joshua Slade. He is gotten himself up to 7th place now, and I do believe Stephen Hayes, I think, might have fallen back to the field. He's back in 10th now.
Yeah, Stephen Hayes having some issues in that 13 Race Labs Chevrolet. She's Dave Halsey back over here seems to rebounded pretty nicely off after his spin. Is able to keep that 4th place away from Mike Hayes and continues to try to track down William Brown.
Brian Ricker taking a trip down pit road here.
Right. Looks like he's already got his left side tires on, and he's down and away. So lap 16, maybe short pitting just to get that extra traction on the track. That's still going to set him up for a 2 pit stop race. And he doesn't really have to worry about a caution coming out because there's no caution. So that's not a bad idea. If you got a struggling car, to come down and get 4 fresh tires and still finish, still do the race in 2 pit stops. So not a bad decision by Brian Ricker there.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad decision at all. I mean, if these guys can go 20 laps, I mean, what would be the purpose of going 20 laps and then 20 laps when you maybe get 16 laps in, another 16, and maybe I think that might equal 48 or something like, so you'll maximize your time on the newer tires. So I don't think that's a bad call at all from Brian Ricker, and could see some other guys sooner rather than later start to make their trips down pit road.
If I was in the back, and especially if you're like 4th, 5th, where it really would make a difference, you're not going to go a lap down. It's 2 minutes and some change to go around this track, even with fresh tires. Right now, these guys are going 2 minutes and 20 seconds is what they're running right now. So you're not going to go a lap down. You might as well just get out them fresh tires and try to make up that time on fresh tires.
100%. And one thing we saw earlier, we saw Halsey had that big problem. He started actually catching back up with William Brown here. So we still could see Halsey maybe scoop up a top 3 as we see Dale Brooks actually working his way up to William Brown right now, trying to get in front of him. Oh, big contact with the turtle there from Brown. That sent him way up in the air. Just shows you how dangerous those things are. You try to cut that corner a little too much, you see yourself raise that front end and even see some Dukes of Hazzard like thing going on.
And right now you got one of the fastest cars on the track right behind him in that 32 of Dale Brooks, trying to fight to get his lap back. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle for that 32 car. But right now I think he's the fastest car on the track right now in 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Just a little slower than Tristan Evil on that last lap.
And we see Steve Gerber taking a trip down pit road, so that's another person taking that call.
He's back, and he's already back out on the track. And Brian Rickers, who had already pitted, is now in front of Steve Gerber by 13, almost 14 seconds now.
And we see Dale Brooks has managed to get by William Brown now. I think Brown just saw that, there's no point in really racing him. He's not for position.
Exactly.
And if I just let him by quickly and try to follow his line, try to maybe learn to see what he's doing, I can keep David Halsey behind me.
He maximized lap times right there. He wasn't going to fight with Dale Brooks. Dale Brooks obviously being quicker than him. Him fighting with him would just slow him down and allowed David Halsey to get right back into him.
And we could even see the race for the lead starting to heat up a little bit here. Thorpe has started catching up here to Tristan Evil. Last time by was hitting a 2-minute 19.804. Tristan Evil was a little over a half a second slower than that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Michael Thorpe run at 2 minutes 19 seconds 0.8 with Tristan Evil's 20.49. So, yeah, like you said, Michael Thorpe is catching that. So we're gonna have a.
Ooh, Hayes down pit road. Michael Hayes is down pit road. He's pitting out of 5th.
18 laps. He's within his window to do this on one pit stop. So I still like the call. I think that's a good call. And
yeah, I don't think you could do this whole race on one pit stop. I mean, if it's 20 laps on a fuel run, I mean that equals you can make it 40 laps. So I think we're going to see another stop from Michael Hayes.
Oh yeah, you're definitely going to see another stop from that 99. I believe he had the right choice. He knows he can make it on one more stop this time, where somebody like Brian Ricker, who went at exactly like 40, make it to 48 laps. So he's got a little bit of playing room on that 99 car right now.
And we see Christopher Basinger also taking a trip down pit road. So most of the people now starting to take that trip. Joshua Slade still hasn't. He's up to 6th right now. And we saw that when Michael Hayes came out of the pit road, he was right near Slade. But because of those new tires, I have no qualms about saying that Michael Hayes is probably going to start pulling away here. Those new tires are going to be they're going to feel like gold in your hands. You're going to love having them new tires, especially how difficult this racetrack is.
Oh, you're definitely right. You're going to feel like a brand new car out there on those 4 fresh tires.
Chuck Cobb also down pit road. He's going to be coming off here shortly. But Tristan Evil still staying out. I think if I was in Michael Thorpe's shoes, I think I would try to short pit Tristan. I mean, you see that he's been starting to catch him.
And you also see that that back end came around a little bit. So he's definitely suffering from some wore out tires right now.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. Yeah, go ahead and take it down.
That last lap, he was a half a second slower than Tristan Evil.
William Brown taking it down pit road. So that is the majority of the top 5 now is starting to pit here. Or not the majority, but the majority of the field has already pitted here.
David Halsey now your 3rd place runner right now, but he's yet to come down pit road.
And I would assume it's going to be any time now that everybody in this top 3 is going to decide to pit.
Yeah, I think I really do think that these guys stand out. Now, that's granted, they had a really big lead on these guys before they started pitting, and I think they're taking that in consideration as well. But I guarantee you, when they come back out of pit road, that lead is going to be gone by at least a quarter to maybe even 1/8 or a half of what it was before.
For sure, especially those guys that do get those new tires. I mean, on those new tires, they're going to be able to make up some of that time that they lost. For sure. So we could see, some fireworks for sure once this pit stop. Everybody has pitted here. It's going to definitely, I think, shuffle up the running order. But those new tires are going to be so important. But one thing about it, though, is so difficult to pass here that, even if you got new tires, are you going to be able to actually get that pass completed? That's going to be the real chore. And while you're trying to actually get that pass completed, could you be burning those tires up more to maybe hurt you later in the run later?
I'm running with Thorpe around his lap, and he's just struggling with that car. This late run, and he continues to stay on the track. I don't know if he might be trying to do it on a one stop. I mean, I don't believe you can go that far. I mean, you have to go 24 laps on a tank of fuel. And I'm just not seeing you been able to do an extra 12 miles on this fuel run. I mean, if he's able to do it, if him and Tristan Eva are able, and you can see Dave Halsey now coming down pit road, but if they're able to do it, that's quite a feat.
And we see Don Blazier also taking a trip. We see Halsey up going down pit road. And Dale Brooks has gotten a couple positions here. He's up to 11th right now.
And has Dale
so
Brooks?
The day's not over for Dale Brooks.
Well, you know, I mean, everybody knows, like, when you you get booted from the server, they automatically put you back in pit road and take some of your tires and fill you up with fuel. So he probably can go another, let's say, probably another 7 or 8 laps more than these guys can. I think it was about 7 laps when he got booted, right?
I think it was a little bit earlier.
Let me see if my
we definitely gotta want to shout out Slickers 890 out there. Let's go Dirty South. Definitely love to see that.
Let's see. I'm trying to find old Mr. Why is it not giving me his pit strategy? I hate this thing. Trying to get Dale Brooks's how many laps he's done on his tires, but it's not showing me.
He has 17 laps on his tires right now. So he's been out there for 17 laps. So that was I think that was on lap 3 or so that he had that issue.
Oh, here comes Tristan Evil down pit road.
So that's right on the money, 20 laps. I mean, could he have been trying to run that fuel tank out?
I just don't. And here comes Michael Thorpe right behind him as well. I just don't think that's the smartest choice. He gave up so much time to these guys who can now short pit again, and I mean he'd have to short pit this next run in order to make it worth it. Ooh, Thorpe overshoots his pits. No, he doesn't. Well, my screen looks like Michael Thorpe is like right.
Yeah, it looked like he did.
It's like he's looking at right. He's like half of his car is inside of Tristan's car.
So now we're going to see really how much time they lost by staying out so long. As we see William Brown. Let's see how much he is caught up to these guys after that.
And we could be wrong. I mean, they could have made that made it work, but I just don't see how staying out 4 or 5 extra laps when you don't need to was the smartest decision.
And we see Joshua Slade. I think he's the last one that has not pitted, and he's up to 6th right now.
Oh, he's had to pit. I think he's pitted.
No, he's 19 laps on his tires right now, almost 20. But Tristan Evil back onto the racetrack. Thorpe back on the racetrack also. And Dale Brooks right there, gonna try to unlap himself. He's closing in.
Now Dale Brooks is on very old tires, and don't think he's going to be able to muscle his way around the 17 or the 34.
Well, he's already around Dale Brooks or Michael Thorpe. But you're right though. I think that we got to keep in mind that he's got older tires. Thorpe's probably going to end up catching him.
Tristan Evil definitely having a better pit stop than Michael Thorpe did. The gap is 5 seconds now, and really with them staying out longer, there wasn't that much of a difference. William Brown still 27 seconds behind the leader, so I guess staying out didn't hurt him as bad as I thought it was going to.
Well, we definitely see some battling going on in the field, though. Look back here, 7th place, Brian Ricker now under fire from Stephen Hayes. And that is for the 7th position. So there's still some battling going on out here as that Race Lab machine's trying to catch up to Brian Ricker there.
Unsponsored Brian Ricker. I don't see any sponsors on that.
Well, he does have FDNY Foundation on the side of that car, so definitely a nice shout out there for. I would assume the fire department there in New York. I would assume for the World Trade Center.
Well, I do know for a fact that Brian Ricker is attempting to join the police force, so we wish him all the luck and definitely thank him for his service out there keeping the streets of New York safe. So good luck with that, your exam, and I hope everything went well.
I'll tell you what, this is like I think this is probably a harder exam than that. This racetrack here, I mean, this is not easy in the slightest.
You're right. There's races like this where I'm glad I'm up here in the booth with you.
I'm telling you, oh yeah, I don't envy these guys not one bit to actually be out there on the racetrack. But then again, I don't know though. I mean, considering I probably wouldn't have made it past lap 1.
All right, hold my beer. Oh, Thorpe is starting to go back to his riding on 2 wheels around these turns. He's got them 4 fresh tires, and he's pushing that limit once again as you see him coming across that hairpin turn.
I bet that's a challenge these guys definitely are facing too. You know, coming from all.
Sorry, Josh was playing.
Oh, you're good.
Blazer are finally into pit road.
Well, that's crazy because Blazer recently pitted already, so
I think
maybe having some problems.
I think Blazer's car just didn't handle the way he wanted to on this track, and he might be just getting some extra time in the pit road. Basically, he probably was going to Banter.
Could very well be the case. And we were just talking about how Dale Brooks, was, right there on, Tristan Evil whenever he came out of the pits, and Michael Thorpe was behind Dale Brooks. Well, Michael Thorpe has gotten his way back around. So I don't think Brooks is going to have any chance of getting this lap back, but he still has a chance to get some positions here. If he can,
he's already picked up a position from the 81 of Chuck Cobb, putting him back down to 12, 1 lap down as well. But Dale Brooks still has to come in for a stop, so Chuck Cobb probably will get that position back.
That's a good point. Yeah, he definitely still has to come down pit road. As we're still kind of looking at the battle here, Brian Ricker and Stephen Hayes. Hayes trying to catch up here to Brian Ricker, and looking at lap time, he's right there on him, and they're running very, very close lap times.
But looking at, Mike, he's 25, so Dale Brooks, if he can go 1 more lap, he can be able to, or 2 more laps. If he can make it to lap 28, he should be able to go the rest of the way on that 1 lap or that 1 tank of fuel. So
yeah, he's going quite a bit of distance. So you might be, this could work out for him if he's able to try to stretch it, save some fuel. He could, even though he's a lap down, could try to make it on 1 stop and maybe find his way to get a lot more positions than he has right now.
Well, right now he's made up 2 positions. Don Blazer and Chuck Cobb are behind him. Again, Dale still has to pit, but so does Chuck Cobb. Chuck Cobb is going to have to do 1 more pit stop. Oh, I just lost his feed for a second.
And Stephen Hayes and Brian Rick are still battling here. This is really the race to watch right now. It just shows how hard it is to pass. You can feel all day that, I'm faster than him. I'm faster than him. It doesn't matter. You could be faster. Oh, hits the curb there. He's up in the air. Good catch there. Good thing he didn't hit another one of those curbs. I know very easy to do once you hit one of them, hit the other ones too. and
for off the track, there's no love lost between these 2 cars. They all year long they've been racing with each other, racing hard with each other. Good competition, but both of these guys want to beat each other. They might not want to win the race, but they definitely want to beat each other.
We were talking about Michael Thorpe, not really starting to catch up to Tristan Evil. He's starting to catch him now, as he's actually, I do believe, turned one of the fastest laps of the race. But we do also see Tristan Evil has also turned, I think, the fastest lap of the race, 2-minute 15.709. That is a quick one. That's a qualifying lap. That's what he turned in qualifying.
These guys are fast, and as their tires heat up, they get a little bit more grip in that car, and they're flying. Michael Thorpe flying a little bit more faster than Tristan Evil. That last lap almost is over a second faster So Tristan might have had some issues. Uh, you seen it in the first one there, Brian, where Tristan started off that run real fast, and Thorpe came in at the end. It's a little bit more of what we're seeing on this run as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it seems like these guys are better in certain stages of this race. So, could it come down? Could see Tristan make a mistake. Could see Thorpe make a mistake. If Tristan makes a mistake, that puts Thorpe back in this race. I mean, it's going to be quite hard to pull that 4 seconds back that Tristan has built. It's possible, but I mean, I think it's gonna be down to a mistake on Tristan's end. I mean, if he could just keep holding on the way he's doing right now, I think he has every chance to. This is his race to lose. But I mean, still, even the best driver, they make mistakes. I mean, it's impossible to not make a mistake sometimes. I mean, especially at a track this difficult. Even like I said, the most talented, the fastest drivers, they make them. I mean, it happens. I mean, just a little lapse in focus could literally cause you to make just a littlest mistake, and that's enough.
You're exactly right, Brian. Exactly what we saw from not from Tristan Evil, but a couple of guys that are in the top 5. Michael Thorpe being one of those guys was, 14, 15 laps, just chasing Tristan Evil's back and making a good showing of it. One turn, he had one bad turn, and he lost 4 seconds off that one turn. So Tristan Evil can definitely fall under that same fate as well that Michael Thorpe did. And this could be another interesting race.
And also, we mentioned it a couple times before about how the endurance level really comes into it too. I mean, right now, even though I think we're across the halfway point now, these guys are probably already feeling somewhat sore. Already, losing that mental focus. So I mean, the longer and longer we go, the more I think the probability of these guys making a mistake is there. I mean, the more and more they keep turning these laps, the more they could lose focus. I mean, all it takes is one little second to lose focus to think, it's very difficult to even reach for a drink of water while you're trying to turn laps here.
Oh yeah, you got to get a water you got to get that straw. You got to get that set up, put that straw on there. There is no resting on a track like this. This is not Talladega. This is not even Atlanta or one of the mile and a half tracks. This is constant left-hand turns, right-hand turns, braking, accelerating. You on your game 100%.
For sure, and there's just no chance to even take. I mean, the only breaks you're going to get is when you go down pit road, and that's literally only like 14 seconds. Like, good luck trying to. This is a long race too. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys got to use the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, these races that they have at Xfinity, they are an endurance race. We kind of messed up I shouldn't say we. I kind of messed up setting up this race. Added 2 extra laps thinking they were doing 48. Chuck Cobb did give me the right number, and I just kind of heard the wrong number. So, but these guys, they're able to do stuff like this. They get in here and they race, and they say, it's no deal. 2 more laps, 12, 6 more miles. They get up here and they muscle through it, and they're doing a great job. And I appreciate these guys week in and week out putting on good shows.
Yeah, they said that before the race, Lester. Let's see what they think after the
race. Yeah, I might.
I don't know. I think perspective-wise, they're like, "Yeah, I'll be fine. We can do it."
Yeah, I would not be.
Get there.
Yeah, I would not doubt if that number 6 truck tomorrow has a bullseye just for the mistakes that I made setting this race up. So.
You just gotta lay in the bed you made, right?
Yeah, I love this league. I love all these guys out here in this league. I mean. They make it interesting to run this league. They make it sometimes difficult, but I love all these guys. Global racing. I know you broadcast for other leagues other than global racing, but in my book, global racing is the best league out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys are definitely one of our top leagues to broadcast for. That's for sure. Just some of the most fun racing to watch. And sometimes, some some little controversy sometimes happen, but I mean,
Yeah,
that just makes the broadcast all the sweeter.
yeah, you are right. And as a broadcaster, I like it. As an league owner and a league admin, not too much.
We've been taking a little bit of some time to watch Michael Thorpe as he has been really steadily catching up here to Tristan Evil. Last time by was 0.3 faster than him. We'll see if we can keep that up.
Yeah.
Halsey goes around. I'm taking a look back at this. David Halsey spins around, and it looks like that is going to be playing right into the hands of Michael Hayes here. Let's see how this exactly took place. Oh, he just spun right on the exit. And then kind of got into the wall, but not a hard hit on the wall. But that definitely allowed Michael Hayes to make that pass.
And that is a beautiful paint scheme on that 99. I mean, I'm a little biased, conflict of interest and whatnot, but that 99 car looks awesome.
Definitely, for sure. Unfortunate for David Halsey. That's a bummer for him, but still in the top 5. I mean, he had the room to make that mistake, considering, you got Brian Ricker in 6th place, and he's quite a bit of time, over 20 seconds back.
Yeah, 26 seconds back. We all knew that this was going to happen, that they were going to get strung out, and the racing would be at a minimum. But these guys are still putting on a great. They're still giving us stuff to talk about. We got 22 laps.
Oh, Joshua Slade. He stops on the racetrack. He's out of the car.
Oh wow, Joshua jump. Oh wow, that's a big story because he was. Let me find out where. I think he was a good.
He was like in 6th.
Yeah.
Oh, he goes off the racetrack.
He's coming into this race. He was 3rd in points, so that's definitely going to take a big hit for Joshua Slade.
He just stopped. It looked like he just stopped turning there, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. But I think his car just stopped turning on him.
Well, you know what? I mean, if his car is in the track or in the garage, let's see if he's still on Discord. I might bring him up and ask him. Bring him up and ask him what happened.
Oh, he didn't even hit the wall either.
I am not seeing him. He has left Discord. So.
Well, hopefully he's not too. I mean, yeah, we might not even want to talk to him. He's probably upset with himself.
Now I know he has a really good open, like, funny feud with the Hayes' brothers there, so he might not want to stick around to hear what they had to say about it. I mean, it's all in good fun by no means. Not like some of the other, some of the other rivals are not as funny, but the feud that old Joshua Slade has with the Hayes brothers is kind of comical.
100%, definitely. Because Joshua was, he definitely is one that doesn't. I mean, he takes it seriously, of course, but he one you could kind of joke with, and I always even pick on him and play around with him just because he could take it. He's a fun guy to talk to.
Oh yeah, Joshua's a great guy. Definitely enjoy having him as an owner in the truck series. He's given me a lot of help down there in the ARCA series, so definitely a big shout out to Joshua Slade and William Brown Motorsports that he drives for, and also One of One Racing in trucks.
Now soon to have 20 laps to go.
That's it? Oh my goodness.
See Tristan Evil starting to make a pass here, I do believe, for on a lap car.
Yep, yeah. Chris Basinger just goes a lap down. That leaves us 8 cars on the lead lap.
And soon Gerber going to be under fire here as he has about 10 seconds or so on the racetrack before he'll go a lap down himself. So I think you even said it. You said it best. I think these two, Tristan Evil and Michael Thorpe, they're going to end up lapping a lot of these guys.
Oh, most
Especially with
definitely.
20 laps. 20 laps to go. I mean, even though it's not a long time, it still is enough time.
well, within the next 5 laps, we're going to start seeing people come back down pit road for that last pit stop. Wayne Brown having some issues. Let's see, it just told me Wayne Brown crashed. Let me go back here and see what happened with old Wayne Brown. I don't know why it would say he crashed. Let me see. Oh, he just loses it going into the turn. Has to lock the brakes up. He did his best Tokyo drift. That's definitely not good for the tires, but didn't hit anything. So good job holding it on, and he gets back going and does not lose a position to Mike Hayes trying to close in on him.
Yeah, Mike Hayes definitely going to be trying to close in on him, but has a long way to go. Over 18 seconds right now to get a catch up there to William Brown. You see David Holsey, he's about 5 seconds back from Michael Hayes. So still could see something happen there with David Holsey, but Holsey, he has a long way to go back to get to Brian Ricker.
Just showed me David Holsey. I'm gonna go back here and see what Hayes said that he crashed, but it looked like he just really slowed down for Chuck Cobb. I don't see any crashing, but it did say Chuck Cobb crashed, so they got into it with each other. Let's see. No, I'm just not. No, I didn't see anything. So, okay. So back up front, Tristan Evil. Almost a 4-second lead back over Thorpe.
Yeah, maybe Thorpe put too much heat in those tires, or maybe trying to get by lap traffic could have been, because that's one thing about this. So, difficult to get around it is, and we talked about how hard it is to pass. I mean, imagine trying to pass lap traffic. It don't matter how, slow they really are. It's just no easy way to get by them without them slowing you down somewhat.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You don't want to push the envelope when it comes to the lap cars, especially at a road course, because you got to lead. If you try to go up there and race with a lap car and something happens, then it's not a good call. You got to find that opportune time to get around them, especially on these road courses.
And there's more lap traffic. We talked about Steve Gerber going to be under fire. Well, it didn't take very long. Tristan Evil coming up on him to put him a lap down. And that's one thing, when you see that leader coming up on you, a lot of times you don't want to get out of the way. You don't want to, I want to try to keep my lap. But I don't know. I don't think it's as important here at a road course, just considering there's not going to be a caution. If there were cautions, he would not let him go.
As you see, Steve Gerber just kind of let 17 go, knew he was coming up onto him, and didn't push the matter, and just allowed the leader to come around. So good job from Steve Gerber. Good respect out there racing.
And I think a lot of it comes down to where you catch that guy. I mean, that guy could really want to get out of your way, but depending on what portion of the track you're catching him, it could be impossible for him to just let you go.
Oh, sorry, most definitely. It's all about, you got to pick your spots, especially when you're coming up to a slow car. Now, all the slow cars are just not going to get out of your way like Steve Gerber did. Some of them are going to be, I'm gonna up so the other guy can catch up. And, they got teams out there, so and team racing, that stuff happens where Gerb. I think Gerb is teammates with Michael Thorpe. He could have helped try to hold 17 up so Thorpe could catch back up to him. He drove with a little more respect than that and allowed 17 to go back. But that stuff out there happens.
Yeah, definitely gonna. Think Gerber's definitely gonna try to let go Michael Thorpe here, and there he goes. Goes a little bit higher to let Thorpe go, and I don't think he lost too much time there. So still, Thorpe is really still laying into Tristan's lead, but it's not consistently happening. But he has come a long way. I mean, we saw earlier after the green flag pit stops, these guys were about 5 seconds apart. Now, Thorpe has gotten it down to, just under 3 seconds, and it's been fluctuating quite a bit. That's what you expect at a road course like this. But they've definitely been keeping this interesting. I think it's still up in the air on who could win this race. I mean, it really, if Thorpe is able to maybe, and one thing you also could do under these pit stops is, we haven't really discussed it, make adjustments. Maybe if, brake bias could be a big adjustment you can make here to make that car handle a little bit better.
Yeah, most definitely. And if I was in Thorpe's car right now and I was racing that car with the gap that I had that I was facing, I would short pit. I mean, both him and Tristan Evil.
They're in the fuel window. I mean,
yeah, they're in the fuel window. If it was me, I would be short pitting them and trying to get extra time, and hope that Tristan Evil ran it out of gas again.
Oh yeah, I agree. But I one thing though, Lester, if you were in Michael Thorpe's car right now, you wouldn't be in second. Just let go.
That's why I said if I was facing the same gap, that's what I'd be doing. If I was Michael Thorpe right now, that's what I would be doing. But like you said, I'm definitely not Michael Thorpe, and we
got to joke around up here, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate everybody.
Definitely want to welcome everybody, or not welcome everybody. Thank everybody from out there in YouTube world for watching this race tonight. Definitely thank you for all the comments. And who do y'all think is going to win between these two front runners here, Michael Thorpe or Tristan Evil, or will Wayne Brown make a surprise attack and take it out from underneath these guys? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, that would be quite. I don't know if I'd gamble that William Brown catching that turtle there sends him up pretty high, but he's able to keep control of the vehicle. I don't know if I would think William Brown's going to win this race, but you know what? Like they say, the underdog. You don't ever bet against an underdog. I mean, the William Brown could somehow, some way, we could see Tristan Evil if they're able to catch each other and race like they were earlier, though, Michael. I mean, think about that. I mean, when they were racing earlier in that first stint, those guys were touching. I mean, they were getting physical.
Yeah, exactly. I think that played a big part as the race went on, of how these cars started. Because I mean, you watch it. Tristan Evil, right side went up in the air across Michael Thorpe's car, so that definitely played a factor on how these cars handled afterwards.
Stephen Hayes taking a trip, so I think that is kicking off. Green flag pit stops, I think, are going to be underway here shortly.
Christopher Basinger.
Also, Christopher Basinger, yeah. And he even touches the wall a little bit there. I wonder what's going on. I guarantee you, you see these guys, driving down pit road. That's their rest time. I mean, he's probably wiping his eyes and wiping his sweat off.
You're probably right on that one. At this point, with 17 laps to go, these guys are tired. The guys in the back are not only tired, but they're frustrated. They've had a slow race, but they're still trying to race to get the best position they do. So a little aggravation starts happening. This is when stuff starts happening right here, is these closing moments.
Yeah, this is when people won't have as much patience, when it comes to, you talking about, they get frustrated. Well, I mean, if you've been, if you get up to someone and they maybe give you a little bit of a harder of a run, race you real hard, this is that point in the race where you might not even be above using a bumper,
Oh, yeah, exactly. And as we started talking, and it had nothing to do with the bumper or how the front runners are going, but Dale Brooks pitting. I don't think he has to pit anymore. He's worked his way back up to the 9th position, got around Christopher Basinger. So good comeback for old Dale Brooks there.
Glad to see him, making the best of a bad situation. I mean, you know what? I mean, there's something to be said about that, just considering how easy it is just to give up at a track like this. I mean, it is so easy to just be like, you know what? Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm parking this thing. I'll see y'all tomorrow. But no, I mean, especially after that, when he blinks out and loses a lap, I mean, just doomed from the start. He could have easily just gave up, but no. I think that's one good thing that we always talk good about Global. That we love that a lot of these guys out here are ex-military or current military, and I tell you what, the military ain't gonna teach you to quit. That's for sure.
Oh no, definitely. They definitely drill that into you during basic training or boot camp. If you're a Marine, I don't know what Navy calls their training or what the Air Force uses calls their training. But I've been through basic training. Uh, they just instill that no quit attitude, and you see a lot of it on the track today, especially with like Dale Brooks, Jeff Weimer, former Marine, Je- uh, Kenny Heath, former Army. So
Well, I don't know. They didn't show up here tonight, so I don't know.
well, Jeff Weimer is suspended for this race, as well as next week's race. And Kenny doesn't race in the Xfinity.
That's a good point for sure. I'm just trying to talk a little trash to him. That's it. Kenny K smooth. Let's see how smooth you are. But hey, I think he's going to need to be every bit as smooth tomorrow at Myrtle Beach. I mean, that is going to be quite the show itself. I mean, I wouldn't say it's as hard as this track, but it definitely is difficult in its own right.
I would actually say Myrtle Beach would be to have us a race like this at Myrtle Beach is probably not going to come in existence. I mean, you look at these guys; they're staying off of each other. Yeah, they're spread out, but in the early runs, when everybody was close together, we didn't see a lot of cars dooring each other and pushing each other away. We won't see that tomorrow. Tomorrow is a real small track, and Global Racing has actually been to Myrtle Beach one other time. And the funny story was, we said we were never going to go back to it. So,
well, sounds like you are though.
Yeah,
that is going to be a tough track.
Yeah, it's a tough track, but we have. I think we have a higher caliber of driver on the average side of this. We have the drivers that are able to run this track with a limited amount of cautions. Will there be cautions? Yeah. Nobody's going to doubt that there's going to be cautions in this race, and I'll probably get caught up in one of them myself, like we did the last time that we were in Myrtle Beach. But these guys are really great drivers that we have running in this league now. It took us a while to get these great drivers, but they're here now, and they're going to put on a show tomorrow. It's going to be our redemption race, to tell you the truth.
No, I hear you. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's Myrtle Beach is one of my home tracks, and a lot of people that know PMN, know me and Zach. Live in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. Only a couple hours away from us, and hate to see it go, but I mean, it definitely is one that I hold near and dear to my heart. I mean, whenever I was coming up through the ranks here in iRacing, when I was running the fixed trucks, I remember Myrtle Beach fairly fondly.
Yeah. I used to live a couple hours away from Myrtle Beach when I lived over there, when I growing up over in Augusta, Georgia. So I wasn't too far away from Myrtle Beach. I never was able to go. I had set up a trip back when I had a motorcycle. Me and my brother was going to ride down there with our wives. We never was able to make it, and I kind of looked disappointed because I love the beach, and I always wanted to go to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, it's definitely it ain't what it once was, I'll tell you that, but I mean, it still is a nice place to go. I mean, I'll tell you what, I know some of my friends, we like to take a yearly trip, go down to Myrtle Beach and eat a bunch of crab legs.
Oh,
but love them so much. And
oh God, yes.
And one thing I miss so much about Myrtle Beach though was the pavilion that used to be there. It was like a little amusement park that just not there anymore, and just sad because I mean that was my childhood, and a lot of times my mom, she would break us out of school, tell us we didn't have to go to school that day or something like that. We'd go fishing off the pier. I mean, it's just some of my best memories there in Myrtle Beach.
Oh yeah, you gotta love them memories. All right.
Tristan Evil right now out to over 5 seconds now. So Michael Thorpe back in the struggling phase once again. And I think he should have took your advice in a lot of ways. I think he should have tried to get that short pit done. Get those fresh tires on there, and maybe be a little bit easier on the last run and stay in front of Tristan Evil. But looks like I think the opportunity for that to happen is going away, but the probability that Tristan Evil might make a mistake still there. Oh, he hits that turtle a little bit there, sends him up in the air a little bit. So little mistakes like that, they add up. So if he keeps doing stuff like that, you could see Thorpe get back into the into the play, into the game, I should say here.
Oh, I know one thing that will probably never happen. Michael Thorpe actually listens to something I say.
All right, now Lester, come on.
Well, like I said, we all have fun up here.
That's for sure. Definitely a lot of camaraderie. Always love to hang out with these fellas. I mean,
Wayne Brown. Sorry to cut you off, but Wayne Brown is taking my advice and coming down pit lane, coming to the attention of his crew for the service on his vehicle.
You also see Chuck Cobb. He's right now 4 laps down, just sitting on pit road. Maybe calling it quits a little early here tonight. Could very well be the case.
It very well could be. Chuck Cobb, another one of those guys who's up there in points. That he could be taking a big hit if he stays in the pits. 11th on the order there so far. So if it ends right now, he's in an 11th spot.
Brian Ricker also has gone a lap down, so only 5 drivers right now are on the lead lap. And the top two right now are the only ones that are not good on fuel.
Yep.
Looking at Tristan Evil and I do believe Michael Thorpe here, they have 14 laps on their tires both. Everyone else in this field right now, Lester, has at least 3 laps on their tires. So that's kind of interesting to see these top 2. They're almost playing chicken with staying out.
Well, I think they built up such a big lead on.
There goes Thorpe. He actually is going down right now. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. I mean, I think somebody's gotten into his ear and said, hey, these guys might have something here. But, with Michael Thorpe coming down and like that, that's just going to bring Tristan Evil down probably to the next lap, I guarantee you.
I wouldn't be guaranteeing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I can't wait to see this. I mean,
well,
Tristan
like
Evil, though.
He's got to know that Thorpe just pitted behind him, and I mean, you don't want if that guy in second place pits, you don't want to stay out too long on that.
Because that 5 seconds gap, I mean, that could go away really fast if Thorpe
laps.
I mean, hey, if he turns a fast enough lap, I mean, you see these guys falling off so much. I mean, the fastest lap Tristan turned was a 2-minute 15.709. Well, his last lap was a 2:19. So I mean, that's quite a bit of fall off. So I mean, just with just a couple laps, Thorpe could get that time back.
Yeah, I mean, we'll put it in existence. David Halsey, who I believe has already pitted over there in 5th place, was over 2 seconds faster than Tristan Evil, our leader. So he's making up 2 seconds a lap. I mean, Michael Thorpe.
This might be helping him. Look at the front end on David Halsey. He is missing his hood.
Oh my goodness.
He could be faster because of this. I mean, his last lap was a 2-minute 17.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
I bet you if he would have known that, he would have had the crew take it off a long time ago.
Yeah, I would have. I definitely would have. I would have been like, take that thing out. That thing's holding us back. Let's go.
That is amazing right there. That's really something.
It really is something.
And here comes Tristan Evil.
Day in life.
Tristan Evil is in the pit road.
Tristan Evil down pit road. That is the leader here. Let's see how much Michael Thorpe makes up with this stop. And we saw that even Thorpe lost some time on that last green flag pit stop. Or not lost some. The first green flag pit stops these guys took tonight, he lost time to Tristan there. Did he do better? I think that's going to be really the main question here. Man, I swear, whenever I see Michael Thorpe take some of these corners, it looks like he's in a lowrider and it's got hydraulics on that car.
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe you can help me out with this, but I don't think Tristan Evil took any tires. I did not see his car go
Wow.
on any direction. So he did a gas and go. He was only in pit road for 13.3 seconds. I mean
Yeah,
that's
I'm looking at this. I'm not seeing him go up on the right sides or the left. So this is curious.
yeah, I mean that's definitely wow.
Yeah,
That's a crazy call
no
with 12
lifting.
laps with 12 laps left to go. And I don't know if Thorpe didn't take any tires, but
I don't know though. I mean, it could be just a some type of mistake. You said he spent how long down pit road on pit road?
13.3 seconds where
That sounds like enough to take tires.
Michael Thorpe took 14.4 seconds on his pit stops. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't see his car. Normally, we get to see the car at least go up. We don't get to see the crew.
We didn't see that at all. Yeah.
Thorpe riding on two tires going around the corner once again.
And he's starting to run down Tristan Evil. So if Tristan Evil didn't get tires, that's going to be a problem for him. There's no way he's going to be able to hold off Michael Thorpe if he's on fresher tires. This race just got interesting. I'm telling you what, this is going to be insane as we have, I do believe, verging on 11 laps to go. I did not see Tristan Evil raise up on right sides or lefts. That is interesting. But the thing is, he spent 13
the brakes. I don't think.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I just don't think he got tires that last time. Michael Thorpe's.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, Thorpe's gap between him and Tristan Evil is just. I mean, I don't even know how to say it. It's just disappearing.
This is insanity right now.
And I'm sorry that I'm lost for words. I just don't understand why you would stay in pit road for 14 seconds and not take tires.
I mean, could he have maybe accidentally? I mean, one thing about it when you're messing with your black box on here, when you're on a track like this, there's no time to do that. Could he have accidentally clicked them off?
That could have happened. I mean, I'm not. But right now, if that happened, that would be the worst thing for him because right now, Michael Thorpe is just eating up that gap that he had built up.
Yeah, but Thorpe trying to get around, I do believe, Stephen Hayes. So hopefully he's able to negotiate his way around him as they go through the S's here. These S's are a hard place to pass, so that could slow down. But even though, I mean, it has to be the case that Tristan Evil didn't take tires because there'll be no way that Thorpe's able to catch him like this.
Yeah, there is. I mean, Tristan Evil his lap times are just ugly. I mean, ugly right now. That's the best way I can describe him.
He had this race won if he had take tires right there. I mean, not to say that he actually had it won, but I mean, that would have gave him such a he would have. I think he would have won. If I was a bet man, I would say if he had taken tires there, he would have won. But now, within a second here, Michael Thorpe coming up on him. This has been insane. I mean, this is really. Wow, this is going to go down in the history books right here, Lester.
and somebody said that this race wasn't going to be interesting at the end.
Oh, it definitely has gotten interesting. But the thing is, we're not at the end. Still a lot of racing left to go, ladies and gentlemen.
A lot of racing left to go. I mean, you think about it, 11 laps, normal track is about maybe 5 minutes worth of racing. But we're at 3.3 mile track at the Circuit of the Americas. It's still about 15 to 20 minutes left of racing here. And right now, the battle for the lead has heated up. Michael Thorpe has caught the back of Tristan Evil. And I think if Tristan Evil meant not to get tires this time and just get gas, I bet he's kicking himself in the butt right now for that.
I mean, he could have all but been celebrating this race win already. But now here comes Thorpe. Now, the thing is, though, could we see a mistake by Thorpe trying to get around Tristan Evil? Still up in the air here. I mean, all it takes is these guys to get a little too physical, and that changes everything.
Yeah, not Michael Thorpe. Tristan Evil is going to try his best to keep Thorpe behind him because if Thorpe gets around him, that's it. It's over. So he's going to make
Thorpe
that
right
car,
there on his back end. He's side by side in the S's of no less.
Oh wow.
I mean, one thing, you can't pass in these S's. It's impossible. I almost liken it to Darlington passing through 1 and 2. It does not happen,
Yeah. Oh, Thorpe trying to drive in there hard, drove in there a little too hard, falls back, keeps it gathered up, and right back at the back end of Tristan Evil's 17 Ford. Oh, wow. Tristan, he's going way out there.
I mean, he's trying everything he can, and they're coming up on lap car. Ryan Ricker there. Ricker just getting out of the way. Smart call for Ricker there.
And Thorpe.
He's like, I don't want any part of this.
Michael Thorpe is able to get around Tristan Evil, and I think that's going to be it. I don't think Tristan's going to have the car. I don't know. He's trying to battle back on that outside-inside kind of thing.
I don't know. I think Tristan's just trying to keep this thing interesting, and he's definitely working on it. But look at the run that Thorpe gets on the eye side there.
Those 4 fresh tires compared to no tires is no contest right there.
I just cannot believe that we actually witnessed that here on PMN and Global Racing Esports Network. I mean, man, that is history for both of our broadcasts, I do believe.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe you're right on that, but it just shows you that great racers like Tristan Evil make mistakes on pit road or on their black box. So it's definitely gonna be.
Didn't I say it earlier? That pit road is going to be so important?
Yeah, you definitely did. It's definitely going to be interesting in the interviews to see exactly what happened and what decision.
If he makes it there.
And
look at how. I'm sorry, Michael. I was just saying. Look at how Tristan is struggling so much right now. I mean, he could spin it out. We haven't seen anybody do this long a run on tires. We haven't.
You are correct. I mean, he last pitted at lap 20, so he's going to go 28 laps 28 laps on a set of tires.
I mean, we have not seen that yet tonight. I mean, could Tristan spin out, fall outside of the top 3, and we don't even get to talk to him? I hope we do, though, to kind of see what happened there, if that was a conscious, voluntary choice.
Well, I think regardless of where he finishes at, we're going to bring him up and talk to him just to ask that question. Like, man, what were you thinking, sir? What were you thinking?
Such a talented race car driver making a mistake like that.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting 13 seconds worth. I mean, maybe
Tristan loses it. He's in the middle of the track.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. That's gonna. I mean, William Brown is a minute and 15 seconds behind him. So I think Tristan just needs to take it easy and try to do his best because. He's
accident here. Let's see this.
I think his tires are gone.
They're gone. They're completely gone.
So that might open the door for William Brown. I mean, we still got 9 laps to go, and Tristan Evil cannot even go full speed on anything. He's got to slow down to basically a crawl going around these turns. So that might open the door for William Brown to take that second place from him.
Could even open up the door for Michael Hayes to take it away from him, too. I mean.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Like I said, with 9 laps to go, William Brown's cut into it a couple seconds here, but we'll see. He's 2 seconds quicker than Tristan Evil, but that's still a minute and 13 seconds left that he has to make up.
This is just insanity right now. I mean, such a big call there. I mean, when you think of, I think Tristan Evil right now is driving on hard mode. This is hard mode right now.
Oh, and he's just losing it all over.
Them tires are gone.
Yeah, he's definitely probably not going to be.
He might even be. He's going down pit road. I think he's about to go down pit road here.
Yeah, that would be the smart choice to do. Very disappointed. I know he's very disappointed in whatever happened to make him not take those tires last time. If it was a decision of his or something doing with the black box. One thing's for sure.
I mean, I'm disappointed for him. I'm disappointed for him.
Front runner for most of this race, and Now he's in jeopardy. Here we go. Now he's got right side tires up. And maybe still trying to salvage so that he's back out. And we'll see where William Brown is and see if William Brown can capitalize on it.
I don't think he will be able to. I think Tristan Evil has gotten, had such a lead that William Brown's still not in the picture here. He's going to be coming out, I do believe, way out in front. I do believe 20 seconds or 18 seconds out in front of Tristan Evil right now, or in front of William Brown.
I'm showing 40 or 22, 20, 19. Yeah, it's evaporating, but like I said, Tristan Evil's back out. It's 4 fresh tires and is going to be able to probably maintain that second place now.
But is he going to be in the right frame of mind? I mean, you got to think, after making some, mistakes like that, I would be white hot, just mad at myself. I mean, that's just something, when you have something like that happen to you, you dwell on it.
Yeah. Well, normally we like to say, the move of the race or the decision of the race happened on the track. But this time, the move of the race for Thorpe happened on pit road, taking 4 tires, and the decision of Tristan Evil to take no tires made the difference.
I don't think it was a decision. I don't think he would have made that decision. I think that it was a mistake. But still, I also got to shout out, David Holsey once again. He's about 20 seconds, 19 seconds behind William Brown right now. Doesn't even have a hood, but he's in the top 5.
Definitely shout that out. And I also want to shout out Butt Kicker for coming on board for the Xfinity Series this season. So as soon as we get a promo code, we'll get that out to you guys and order y'all some butt kickers, man.
100%. And I'll have to send you over the butt kicker commercial. That way we can shout them out even more. That way you can play their commercial on yours.
Definitely.
Man, but what an exciting race this has been. Soon to be 6 laps to go.
And what an exciting race it's been. Now, granted, Michael Thorpe has got almost a minute lead over the rest of the field. But, I mean, Tristan Evil gave us something to talk about at the end of this race.
There is some battling still going on right now, getting real interesting. We'll see Brian Ricker and Stephen Hayes starting to duel here.
Good racing back here for 6th and 7th place. Dale Brooks making it up to 9th place after that. That's one of the big stories of the
I think he might have 8th before all said is done, because he's starting to catch up to Steve Gerber right now.
Yeah, he's almost less than 2 seconds away from Steve Gerber, so he might battle his way back up to 8th place. Now, getting back up to Stephen Hayes in that 7th position might be kind of an outreach, but he definitely can grab get that spot from Steve Gerber.
Yeah, definitely could be a possibility. And he could, like I said before, I mean, he could have just gave up. He could have just quit. But no, Dale Brooks he ain't got that in his spirit. He's gonna stay out there, get some stuff done, and he's gonna check, get up there to 8th. I mean, what a recovery there. I mean, of course, I think he could have gotten a top 3, a top 2 here tonight, and maybe even had won the race. We don't know. Looking at his lap times and his speed, I mean, he's right up there when it comes to the Michael Thorpe and Tristan Evil.
Yeah, he's got the 3rd fastest lap in the lineup tonight, so he would definitely been up in the top 3, top 4, even like you said, he might have been in challenge of winning this race.
Especially with the mistakes we've seen tonight. I mean, even Thorpe made a mistake earlier in this race and lost a lot of time. I mean, that could have paid off for Dale Brooks. And when Tristan Evil made his mistake, Dale Brooks could have been in the lead.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing.
Barring he didn't make a mistake, of course.
Well, I mean, yeah, he didn't make a mistake, but we all sign on to this simulator with the knowledge that things like that can happen.
I mean, it's almost like an engine failure or something like that. Even not even a simulator when you're racing in real life. I mean,
exactly.
it's stuff like that can happen, and it's out of your control.
Yeah, a lot of people miss the start in the real life because they go to move their car up to to the pit road, and it won't start. They can't get a start, so they go laps down before the race even gets started.
Oh, yeah. But right now, everything has gone right for Michael Thorpe, the 34 right now. Who, I mean, I'd be honest with you, he was not on my radar to win this race tonight. But the performance we've seen from him, he's clearly got what it takes to get it done.
Yeah,
I still see Tristan Evil. Go ahead. Sorry.
I knew Thorpe was going to be up in the top 5 run. He's one of those racers who can just get in these cars and race very well. I didn't think he had it to win it. I actually thought Tristan Evil was going to win. I know, some people thought William Brown was going to win, but Thorpe surprised us all and was had the less mistakes than everybody else. And here he is with 6 laps to go, leading the race.
Yeah, I mean, and kept it interesting all race too with how Thorpe was right there on Tristan Evil. Never let him go.
I still think he's going to flip that car over in one of them corners.
Man, wouldn't that be something? That would be quite the thing to happen here. I mean, we've seen it all here tonight. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
yeah.
It really, truly wouldn't surprise me if something like that happens. I mean, especially, Thorpe's out here racing by himself right now. That's something we haven't really discussed, because we haven't, seen a lot of instances where these two leaders were really racing by themselves. When you're by yourself in no man's land, it's so much easier to make mistakes because you don't have someone else to judge yourself on. So, and he might have already have it wrapped up in his mind that, hey, I'm winning this race. That's not the thought you want to enter your head, considering it could lead to a mistake when you start getting comfortable.
Oh yeah, guaranteed, 100% there, Brian. If you get into a lull, that's when you're going to make your mistakes because you're not going to think about your braking points or your acceleration points or your marks, and that's when you said you make a mistake, and that could just open the door for Tristan Evil and William Brown to get right back into the race with.
Right now, watching Tristan Evil trying to get around Dale Brooks. I do believe he is on the fresher tires. Brooks has made his way up to the 8th position. He has about 20 seconds to go to get to Stephen Hayes in 7th. Time is running out here. Stephen Hayes and Brian Ricker have been trading, battling good bit tonight. It looks like it has been somewhat settled out. Brian Ricker right now in 6th place.
And you see Dale Brooks giving way to the 17 car of Tristan Evil.
It's probably a smart call, and there's a lot of respect between those two drivers. I mean, they might clash, but one thing is they definitely respect each other when it comes to the amount of speed they have, and that they both give each other a run for their money. I mean, it wouldn't be. Would you want to run in the league where you feel like you're just not challenged? And I think that's what they do for each other. They challenge each other.
Yeah, Tristan and Dale are both not only challenged for each other, but challenges for everybody else in this league.
Going against Michael Thorpe.
Yeah, Thorpe.
Brown,
Brown, all those guys set the bar on how the Xfinity series needs to run. So, definitely glad to have these guys in this league. Looking forward to many, many seasons with these guys.
100%. Definitely been an exciting race here tonight. Circuit of the Americas, an F1 track, making an exciting race in the Xfinity car. Who would have thunk it?
Tristan Evil trying to push that car as hard as he possibly can. Getting a little, I don't know what turn it was because I don't know this track well enough, but definitely had his hands full of that steering wheel coming around that turn there.
He is trying to get as much time back as he can, but it just... Oh, wow. How did he save that? That was wild to see him kick that car sideways and still manage to get off that corner. That could have been easily bad. But, I mean, that just shows when you're a good driver like that, you're able to make mistakes like that and still keep it straight. I mean, you don't – at road courses, it's difficult to do things like that. I'll tell you that. I mean, you could be on a banked racetrack and maybe be able to save it, but on a flat track like this, it's so hard to save it.
Oh yeah, most Tristan Evil, Michael Thorpe, William Brown. You know, I mean, I'll even go back to the 8th place Dale. Those guys have just been on point today. I know Dale Brooks had the issue with the packet loss and came back in, but put on a great show trying to get back into the lead pack. Sorry, but these 3 guys are just, or 4 guys are just, they're the drivers. They can do anything, oval, road course, and they're just really good drivers.
Yeah, for sure, and not to exclude David Holsey, I've just been so impressed with the amount of speed he's shown here tonight. I mean, he definitely has, that kind of speed that he's matching, some of those other guys. I mean, you just included William Brown in that whole statement there. Halsey turned a faster lap than William Brown. Is actually faster than him right now. Has about a little under or a little over 11 seconds up to William Brown. So can Halsey catch up to Brown? Still up in the air, especially he's running about 2 seconds, a little under 2 seconds faster than him every lap.
Yeah, definitely. The side of his car says airborne, so all that air coming on that hood.
Doesn't seem to be slowing him down. That's shocking to see that that's not slowing him down.
Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
You definitely got to worry about heating issues. That's for sure.
Definitely not. Yeah, you're right about that. Well, with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. So, I mean, I don't think he's got enough time, to be honest with you, to catch up to William Brown. I mean,
I do not believe
he's definitely running him down.
And William Brown could he could be on it. Like, I can't catch Tristan Evil. I'm not going to do anything stupid to lose this 3rd place, and he might just be taking it easy. Let Dave Halsey, knowing that he's got a lead over Dave Halsey. Dave Halsey's got to drive his butt off to get up there to him. So William Brown might be just taking it easy.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, I wouldn't even think Michael Thorpe's probably driving it too hard. I mean, we've seen Tristan catching him, but there is literally no way that he's going to be able to get that amount of time. 50 seconds. I mean, it's impossible. That is impossible.
Thorpe would literally have to crash his car right about now and be stuck on the.
He'd have to.
In the.
He'd have to hit the wall at like 100 mile an hour,
Well, I mean, if you get, they got a couple of those areas where they got sand traps. So if you get off the course where bad enough where you just look at his car just lean to the right when he comes around that turn. It just, I mean, the suspension on that right side has got to break at some point.
I feel like that might be why that setup is working really well for him. And maybe it's just the suspension is so soft that it does twist and move, and it might even help him turn in some regards.
It's got to help him do something because he seems to do that every time he takes a left-hand turn. That car seems to just want to sit there on those 2 right side tires, and
it really does. It looks like a hydraulics. I mean, it looks like he's got hydraulics in that thing, and it's just putting that thing up in the air like he's a lowrider.
Yeah, I mean, you look when he makes those right-hand turns.
Oh, Tristan off the racetrack. Oh no, and he's losing it. He's lost it.
Oh.
This could help out William Brown. Can he catch up?
He's back on the track.
Also got to look at back here, Stephen Hayes and Brian Ricker are fighting here. Hayes has gotten that position, and there has been some contact traded between these two, apparently. Man, what an act. Both Tristan Evil, man, wow.
Go back here and watch this. Oh, looks like 22 friggin' kind of break.
Oh, how did he keep that under control? Stephen Hayes up to 6th place. Not a bad job for him. It does look like Ricker's missing his rear end there.
Yeah. Looked like Ricker kind of almost came to a complete stop with Stephen Hayes right there behind him, and Stephen Hayes got into the back of him.
Surprised there's not more damage on the front end of that race car, if that's what happened there. But look at that, soon to be the white flag. Right now, under 2 laps to go, and Michael Thorpe has over a minute lead. I mean, this has to be a record, wouldn't you say, Lester? I mean, on how many, how much time a person has built on someone in the green or in the Global Racing League here.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a record for Global Racing League. Final lap, one more time around this 3.3 mile track, and then Michael Thorpe, barring any crazy things happening like Tristan Evil's been suffering from these last couple of laps, is going to come home the winner tonight.
Yeah, I think Michael Thorpe is going to be taking it. I mean, he has enough time. He could literally just slow to a crawl and be waving at the fans, just like, "Hey,"
Yeah, doing his victory lap before the victory.
Man, what an exciting race this has been.
Yeah, Michael Thorpe is smart. He's gonna definitely he's taking it easy right now. He's definitely not going to push the envelope.
And it looks like David Holsey has gotten quite a bit closer, even though the white flag is out. He's now 8 seconds away from William Brown.
Yeah, a good comeback for Dave Holsey with missing a hood and everything like that. A 4th place finish.
Oh yeah.
So, and Mike Hayes is 11 seconds behind him. So as long as he keeps his car going straight, everything should be good there.
Coming into this race, I definitely was a little bit more, I'd say, apprehensive. I was like, I don't know. I mean, Coda, I don't know about it, but I don't know. This race has kind of turned me a little bit. Mm-hmm. Definitely, has been quite the show.
Global makes everything better. Or I should say, we make everything interesting.
And here we go for the final sets of times here. We got Michael Thorpe making these corners. Oh, it looks like Tristan Evil had another issue here. William Brown now only 8 seconds behind him.
Oh, wow. That's going to make... Oh, and he's having
he
more
loses
trouble.
It again! I told you that he was dwelling on it. When you make a huge mistake like that, it really just weighs on your mind. And it looks like Brown is going to take second.
Will Halsey be able to take third? No.
Oh, my word. What a race.
And Tristan Evil goes around again.
Another mistake. Goodness gracious.
There goes David Halsey taking the 3rd place away from Tristan Evil. How far will the question is, how far would Tristan Evil fall back? Here comes Mike Hayes.
This is crazy right now. I
hate to keep pointing out, what the race is over, and I apologize for Michael Thorpe that we didn't watch him come. He's doing burnouts right now, but I mean, wow, what happened with Tristan Evil?
I'm very confused right now.
Yeah, wow.
He is just having a lot of trouble right now.
Congratulations.
Looks like he just maybe made an adjustment. I don't know.
Oh, congratulations to Michael Thorpe and getting the victory. I do apologize that I didn't watch him come across the start-finish line. Didn't realize
we can go back and watch that for sure. I just want to see where these guys ended up laying out. Tristan loses it again. That gives Mike Hayes 4th place right there.
Wow.
Yeah, let's go back and watch that little bit of the last couple corners there for Michael Thorpe. I do apologize for pulling away from that. Just some stuff was going on,
But again, congratulations to Michael Thorpe. Wayne Brown coming home 2nd. David Halsey with no hood managing to come home 3rd place. Mike Hayes takes the 4th place away from Tristan Evil to finish there. And Tristan Evil finally coming around the start-finish line. Man, that's just capping the end of his race. Wow.
What a race for Michael Thorpe. We just watched that last couple corners from him, and man, he deserves this win here tonight. He did such a great job, and love to see him burning it out. He even blew his engine at the end of his burnout there, Lester. Let's go ahead and watch back that one more time and get our post-race show all lined up. I mean, man, what a race. I mean, threw me surprise after surprise, Lester.
I mean, we sat there before this race and we like dreading it. It's a road course. It's everything's going to be drug out and all like that. But my God, these guys just made it so interesting that I mean, wow, that's all I can say.
That's about all I can say too. I mean, speechless.
Let's
But
go ahead and find us a David Halsey because we want to talk to him first.
All righty, well, I'll let you take him, Lester, and I'll take second place.
I will be glad, and I'll let you get the second and the first place, and I will take the third place finisher, Dave Halsey, with no hood, driving that 57 military car. I can't remember who's your sponsor. Are you Army sponsor?
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Army Airborne, bud.
Yeah, that's right. Army Airborne made a comment about that. Dave Halsey, Mike Lester in the booth. You got a copy? Obviously, you do since you can hear me.
I got you, bud.
Oh, man, what a race you guys put on out there. Road courses are normally supposed to be boring races with nothing happening. Y'all are supposed to get strung out and like 10 seconds in between each other. But you guys chose to go another path and make this the most interesting road course race I've ever seen. Man, tell us a little bit about what was going on out there.
Yeah, I made a couple of mistakes early in the race, and then I screwed up getting into the pits. But all in all, man, I tell you what, we had a pretty good car. I want to give a shout out to Ronster Wraps, man, for giving me this awesome paint scheme. And at the Top Motorsports, man, we'll see if we can't put her on the podium tomorrow night too.
There you go, man. Y'all, where are y'all going? Where are they going next week? Hold on, I should have this up already.
Richmond, I think.
Yeah, Richmond. How are you liking your chances at Richmond?
Richmond's pretty technical, so I should be all right there. I tend to do a little bit better at the more technical tracks, where you're not just pin it, so I think we should be all right. And then I think we go to Martinsville after that, and we should be pretty good there as long as we can survive.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Surviving is definitely the key to not only tonight's race, but the next couple races that we're having at Martinsville and Richmond. Sorry. I'm watching people talk over there and like that. Were you surprised that you had so much speed without your hood?
No, we were running right around 20s, pretty much for the most of the race. We weren't the fastest guy there, but we were pretty consistent. So when we knocked the hood off it, I went ahead and fixed all my repairs. So we give up about 12 seconds in the pits that stop. So I went ahead and fixed it all. So they just probably ripped the hood off and kept us from overheating.
Yeah, you definitely had the best cooling system out there. But you were faster. I mean, the thing of it was you were running 217s.
Yeah.
Once that hood was come off, it was like, wow, he's gotten faster. I think if he would have known that, he would have tore it off a lot sooner.
Yeah, I took it off at the beginning of the race.
There you go, man. But
hey, give a shout out to Thorpe, man. I'll tell you what, Thorpe run a good race tonight, man. I'm proud of that kid. So good job, Thorpe. I'm going to try to knock you off the podium next week.
There you go. All right, well, that's Dave Halsey, our third place finisher, man. Congratulations once again, and we definitely look forward to talking to you again next week, maybe in the podium, or Brian will talk to you tomorrow on the podium. Wait a minute, no, you're gonna race against me tomorrow. I still gotta pay you back for Daytona.
I got one coming.
All right, man. Well, congratulations.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks, guys.
All right, that was David Halsey, your third place finisher, and then we are going to bring down William Brown and William Brown Motorsports as soon as I can find him.
I got him right here. Okay, William Brown up here in the booth. How you doing, man? I mean, did you know you were going to finish second there? You had a good day. You were third all night long. Got to be excited to be able to get that second place.
Expected. There were some unfortunate events that took place. Tristan that weren't expecting, and I just kind of lucked my way into a second place finish here. And if you add Dale, he had some technical difficulties. That's another position I feel like I lucked my way into because he was fast. He was definitely faster than me around this track. So realistically, I think if those two drivers didn't have their issues, I probably would have been a fourth place finish. But I'm not going to complain about a second.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Definitely some unfortunate things happened there for those guys, for sure. Dale with the blinking issue. And do you have any knowledge on what happened to Tristan? We'd like to be able to speak with him if that's okay, but I don't think I see him anywhere. But what happened there? What happened there with his pit stop not taking tires?
Yeah, that was not his intention. I'm not sure if it was an iRacing issue or if something else kind of messed with his pit strategy, but he was completely intending to take tires. He took a full tank of fuel. Makes no sense to get a full tank of fuel without tires, so it definitely was not intentional. And that just kind of ruined his chances from there. And I think it got in his head like it would anybody else once you make that mistake, and the events just started to unfold.
100%. I even said that during the race. You're going to dwell on something like that. It's hard not to, especially when what could have been is in your mind. And unfortunate for sure for him, but very fortunate for you. And but still, I mean, you even mentioned Dale Brooks. I mean, it could have been a three-way race between Tristan Evil, Thorpe, and Dale Brooks. Which I feel like we all got robbed on that a little bit, but still turned out to be a very entertaining race. I mean, how are you feeling about Richmond coming up here in a week's time?
Well, before I move on to Richmond, I was just going to make a comment about this track. Of all the road courses out there, I feel like this is the hardest one that NASCAR races at to be consistent and to find your groove and stick with it the whole time. I felt like I was falling apart the longer it went on. I don't know if it was me getting tired with these 2 extra laps Lester decided to tack on here or what, but your feet, your braking foot gets exhausted a little bit, and I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You just fall out of your groove and start to get inconsistent. But
well, I know before the race, Dale Brooks even said that this is an 8 out of 10, hardest racetrack. I would say a 10 out of 10. That's what I would say.
If we're talking NASCAR tracks at NASCAR, 10 out of 10. But I can think of a few other tracks that I could see them maybe going to eventually at some point, and it would be harder than this. I feel like there's a couple other American tracks like Laguna Seca. If they ever did that, can you imagine NASCAR's stock cars going down the corkscrew?
Oh, it would be insanity. I'd love it. I would love every bit of that. That would be cool to watch.
I'd love it too. The camera angles that could pull off of that would be great, but I don't think so. Anywho, Richmond next week. I'm very excited, very confident. Last time I raced at Richmond, I believe I won, so I'm looking to do that again.
Love the confidence coming from you, man, and a lot of confidence. I mean, you're definitely a plug-and-play racer. You can come to a track like this and still, finish. Even fourth is a good finish if you had gotten that, but you got second here tonight. Who can we shout out for you being Wolf Cola driver of the night?
Oh, it's me?
Yeah, you're Wolf Cola driver of the night.
Man, the good vibes keep on coming. All right, I'd like to shout out Lester, as always. He deserves it every time. Want to shout you out. Great job, both of you guys, on the broadcast, especially slugging through this one. I want to shout out my teammate, Josh Slade, who was out here. He didn't have the finish he wanted, but appreciate him out and giving it a shot. Michael Thorpe for the win. Tristan Evil, he didn't have the finish he wanted, but he deserved to be up there. Same with Dale Brooks. That's all I got.
All right. Well, definitely appreciate your time, man, and we look forward to seeing what you can pull out on next Saturday. Definitely looking forward to it, man. Good luck to you.
Looking forward to it as well. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You too. Next up, the man himself, not very much a conversationalist, but he is a racer through and through. Michael Thorpe, we got you up here in the booth. I mean, you changed your name to the Grim Reaper. Are you just reaping all these wins out here?
First of many.
The first of many, I hear. Now, gotta ask. I mean, you were right there with Tristan all night long. You were right there with him, able to fight with him, and do a lot of things that a lot of people probably couldn't have done. I mean, definitely shout out to Dale Brooks. Unfortunately, do you think the race would have been different if Dale Brooks had been there?
Oh, for sure. He would have gave me a run for my money too. He been like all week long. He's been pretty fast doing practice sessions and everything. So I'm not. It's unfortunate, but if he didn't have that disconnect, he definitely would have been up there with us.
Definitely agreed to that for sure. I mean, you guys would have been having a three-way battle instead of just a two-way, and unfortunate. I'm not really apprised on what exactly happened to Tristan Evil there, but him not taking those tires, really helped you out quite a bit. I mean, were you happy when you saw that, or were you a little bit disappointed that maybe you didn't earn it as much as you could have? I mean, you were right there with him, but I mean, it was going to be quite the challenge to fight with him if he didn't, have that issue.
I actually planned on that thing the whole time since I actually exited the first green flag pit stop. Because I actually did plan on pitting a little bit earlier than him. Cause I knew for a fact me and him were not gonna make it on field. So
For sure. I mean, yeah,
unfortunately,
28 laps.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that happened to him. But oh man,
definitely probably have a lot of respect between each other though, considering you were able to really race so hard, and you even had some contact early in the race. Even I think even a couple times. I mean, you had to be very confident with this car to be able to do that, wouldn't you say? I mean, you've been putting a lot of time in this week.
yeah, I've been putting a lot of time. Like early in the week, middle of the week, I haven't been putting that much practice in because I didn't want to over practice and I start making mistakes during the race. Then yeah, just had to go along with it because the car is the setup I got. It was extremely good. I didn't change a thing about it.
And we also noticed one thing I know me and Lester probably both want to ask you about is when we saw you, some of them turns, it looked like you were almost coming up off of one wheel. I mean, like it was crazy the way you were, every time you turned, it looked like you had hydraulics in that car.
Yeah, I told you in the weekend be seeing a lot of three-wheel action.
Oh, was that what you meant?
Yep.
Well, wow, we definitely saw some three-wheel action. It looked like you were out there in a dirt car or a pro truck, But great job to you, man. I mean, excellent win out here tonight. Definitely going to keep you in that points lead and probably spread it out a little bit here, give you a little bit of some distance between you and second place. Who can we? Or I was going to ask you who can we shout out, but Richmond coming up here. Let's ask you that first. How you feeling about it? Do you feel as confident as you did here that you do there?
Oh, yeah, Richmond is actually one of my favorite. Like, I wouldn't call it a short track. At the same time, it is kind of short track, but it definitely one of my favorites. Last year was when I did the officials like a ton. I did the officials like that's about the most officials I've ever done. That last year to that track, that was crazy.
So that's definitely one of your favorites. Sounds like.
Yeah, every race I had a good top 10, top 5 finish. At that race, hopefully I can get a win in the league. Just get as many, IR and safety rating this week. Well, yeah, Richmond week.
Like, you better watch out. You're going to end up getting so high IR rating, they ain't going to want you in the Xfinity League here. But great job to you, man. For real, though. I mean, what a job. I mean, this track was certainly difficult. I mean, did you feel, do you like this track in the Xfinity?
Oh, yeah, Xfinity cars, yeah. Actually, any stock car, this track is actually really nice. Like
that's surprising. I mean, this is a F1 purpose-built racetrack. I mean,
I personally don't like the track in like LMPs or GT3s, but in stock cars, I love it.
Definitely love to see it. You seem like you were loving it out there, making it look interesting. I mean, we said that road racing looked boring. Well, guess what? You made it not boring here tonight. Congratulations once again on your win. Who can we shout out to here tonight for you?
University of Northwestern Ohio, Team GGA, Third South Motorsports, my grandmother, and definitely Brian Ricker, Steve Gerber, Ricky Hudgens. Those are my guys. They keep me going every single week.
Definitely love it. The camaraderie we have here in Global Racing, that's for sure. definitely evident on your screen here tonight. And we appreciate your time, Mr. Michael Thorpe. Look forward to talking to you next week at Richmond.
Yep. See you guys.
That is Michael Thorpe, your winner here tonight at the OMG Right Turns. What a great race tonight, though. I mean, Lester, it really threw us a bunch of surprises.
Yeah, we came into this race thinking it was going to be boring and that we wasn't going to have a lot to talk to. Like I said before, these guys did the total opposite of what we thought and gave us so much to talk to, especially at the end with the hiccups that Tristan Evo had to face. Michael Thorpe reaping the benefits of those hiccups, and not only that, Wayne Brown and David Halsey all getting into the podium, and just they gave us something to talk about.
They definitely did. We had plenty to talk about. I don't think we ever. If you counted up how much downtime or silence you had here tonight, there ain't a lot of it. That's for sure. But definitely, what a great race here tonight, Lester, and can't wait to see what you guys pull out tomorrow when we head to Myrtle Beach. Going to be an interesting race there in the trucks, the Global Racing Series. So looking forward to that for sure. Anything else you'd like to say before we close it on out, Mr. Lester?
Oh no, just want to thank all the fans for coming out here watching us this week. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for the support of the Global Racing drivers. Look forward to not only broadcasting next week, but look forward to racing tomorrow. If y'all want the in-car view, please visit Global Racing Esports Network. I'll be running my view from the race, which will be behind the wheel. And other than that, man, just for Global Racing Esports Network, I'm Mike Lester. For Brian Britt and PMN, good night.